Good morning, welcome or welcome back to the Big Bear Yarns podcast, episode number 26, I think. Episode number something. I'm Anna, the dyer behind Big Bear Yarns. I live in Essex in the UK with my cat, my 2 dogs and my sister. Suddenly I was thinking, is that the right number of each? Yes. That is the right number. And this is my podcast where I'll show you everything I've been knitting and crocheting, etc. Pretty standard format. Yeah, so I'll just get started. So I do have a finished object this week, finished just before I pressed record. I did press record, yeah. It's best to check. I have 2. These are my own hand dyed. The link to my shop, if you like any of the yarns, is always down below. And you can also see some more samples and things of them on my Instagram, which is also linked in the description below. So these are my own hand dyed. It's unfortunately not currently available. It is all sold out, and it might be restocked, but it's a big might at the moment. This is my standard merino sock base, so that is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get 400 meters per 100 grams. I love it. Look at the distribution. It's just perfect, isn't it? On both socks as well. Because sometimes I find with my own and other like hand-dyed speckled yarn especially, and commercial speckled yarn actually, I think it's just the nature of speckling, you can get a bit of a difference between the 2 socks from one end of a skein to another. But these ones, I think they're pretty similar. I think that distribution of dye, I think I did a good job. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm proud of myself. Yeah. So these are on sock blockers that I bought from Amazon. I will put a link down below for them. I do like them. They are. I won't take these ones off the sock blockers. I'll just grab the other because they come in a set of 3. So this is the next size down. And yeah, they do a pretty good job. There's no snagging on any of the joins. They have like little caps on the tip, so I don't know if that is sharp because obviously I haven't touched it, but yeah, there's just that join there. But I like them. They haven't tarnished at all any of the times I've used them. I've only used them a few times, so I don't know if they will tarnish or anything, but there's been no issue with the I don't know if they are coated with anything, but it's all still on there. So they're pretty good. I knit these on 2.5mm DPNs. I did 64 stitches. Well, technically I cast on 65 stitches, and then I pass the last stitch I've cast on over the first one to make 64, and just sort of close up that join. So if you ever find that you have a bit of a gap where you cast on in the round, I find if you cast on one more stitch, there are tutorials for it, but it's pretty simple. You just you just like take the stitch from your left hand needle and move it to your right hand needle, then pick up that stitch, which you should be able to pull because it will be attached to the ball of yarn, and pass it over, and that just snugs it all together, if that makes any sense. If possible, it might not. So I did 20 rounds 2x2 ribbon. I did 20 rounds of the leg, and I did a slip stitch heel flap, heel turn, and I do, these are for me, So I do 70 rounds for the foot, including the gusset decreases. And then I do the standard toe from the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla socks on DPNs. There's a very good YouTube tutorial she has on her channel for that. And then, I've said it before, but I'll say it again in case anyone knew, I don't do, ow, getting tangled. I don't do the Kitchener stitch. Like, I don't Kitchener my toes. I can, I don't like to. I don't know, it's just, I hate doing it. So I just do a 3 needle bind off. And you do get a little bump there. It is a slight ridge, but it's right on your tips of your toes, so I've never noticed it. It's never been an issue for me. I've never had them unravel anything, so I'm always happy just to do that, because otherwise I think I would have tons of socks just sitting there waiting to be done. These aren't blocked yet. I've just put them on the blockers. I don't technically properly block my socks, but they do come out blocked. So I don't know. Some people will probably say it's not proper. They're not blocked, but they're as blocked as they're going to get for me. I put them on the sock blockers dry. I have a water spray. I spray them all over so they're damp, don't need to be soaking wet, I don't think. And then I just sort of squidge the moisture through them and then I hang them up to dry. By the time they're dry, they come off crisp and beautiful. So I'm not going to be soaking them in like wool wash and all that and then blocking them. I'm just not doing it. I knit too many socks for that. So they are socks number 41 for the year. It's 7 minutes already. Oh, get a move on. Okay, so I've done a fair amount of work this week, but I have been concentrating on a few other items, like my sister's cardigan and my own cardigan, because I want to get those moved. So I have done some work, but I will just show you. That would be the easiest thing, wouldn't it? So I've got a new pair of socks on the needles, just done 5 rounds of cuff. This is my own hand dyed again. I'm not sure, I mean, I have a feeling this will turn out quite nicely, but I've never actually knit with it yet. So this is in my colour Antique. So this again is 75% superwash. It's a fine merino. It's not super fine, which I wouldn't want to knit socks in super fine merino because you just wear through them so quickly. It would be a waste of time and money. Yeah. So 400 meters per 100 grams. This is what it looks like in the cake. It is just green, it's just shades of green and greys all together. I don't know if it's a bit of a weird lighting situation today. I feel like I keep blowing out a bit, but anyway, I've got it in the skein so you might be able to see it better. Yeah, you can see a lot better in the skein. It's just, you've got the greys. You've got patches where it's not undyed, but it is very lightly dyed. So you've got greens, you've got this more like lichen-y kind of green, and then you've got the darker bluey green. I really like this colour. I've been looking at this colour for ages. So that's Antique. Antique is actually on my September 25% off sale. So I've got 3 in stock, and no yarn that's on sale will be restocked during the sale. So what is there is what is on sale. You get the idea. I don't need to go on. So 5 rounds so far. These are Knit Pro Zing 2.5mm. Oh my god, I'm so itchy. In there, 64 stitches. I don't know who these ones are going to be for yet. We will see. I can't get that back in there, that's fine. So that's one. Then, oh yeah, another new sock on the needle. This one. This is the Vikings of Norway yarn, I think. I've got the ball band, I'll just check. Which, if you've watched my earlier episodes, you'll know I have very mixed feelings about this yarn. I bought quite a few because it's so pretty. I've bought quite a few colours, but there are some challenges when it comes to it. Yeah, Viking of Norway, Nordless. Let me this doesn't, or it does have a name on the website, but it doesn't have a name on the ball band, so it's colour number 935. And it's just this, does it have a picture on that? No. It's just greens and pink with like some darker purples. It's very pretty. So the fabric it creates is lovely. It's so soft and warm, and there is a silkiness to it. Like it is slightly rustic. It's not as soft as a merino, that's for sure. And it has this kind of like, it's very lightly spun. I don't know if we can get closer so you can see. It's very lightly spun. Like I think if you just sort of like wiggled it in your fingers, you could kind of like undo it. And then it is also a very thick and thin yarn. So you see this, quite thin. This, quite thick. You see them together. So it does create a slightly uneven. Oh, good job I did caking this yarn up. Rest assured, if you have, I will cake yarn for customers if they ask, if they request it. And yours will look better than this. Yeah, so the finished product is worth the, not stress, because it's knitting a sock, you know, that's like, let's not get out of hand about it. What's the worst that happens? You unravel it. It's not stress, but it's annoying. The annoying qualities of this yarn are outweighed by the lovely socks you get at the end, and the colours, like I said, are stunning. So I've done them on my, I nearly made a mistake and cast them on my Addy Premiums, which are not the sharpest tips. So I did them on the Zings, which do have a sharper tip. They're not super sharp, but they're sharp enough to deal with this. So there's those. Oh yeah, this again is my own yarn. This is Pink Pony Club, which actually is on my sale. So if you wanted to grab any Pink Pony Club, I have no more of this base of Pink Pony Club left. That sold out a few days ago. So I do have some sock, silk and zebra. So yeah, I've just done, these are for my sister. Unfortunately I did want them for myself. I thought they would look, they're just so pretty. I don't even know if on camera how pretty they are actually shows up, but it's just stunning. I did do a good job. What was I about to say about them? Oh yeah, so I've done the whole sock, I just need to do the toe. Just using the Addy Premiums 10 centimeters. If you're interested, if you have any questions, if you're not like a sock knitter or you've not seen this before, I use bulb stitch markers. You can't really see them on this, can you? Let me get one out. I use the light bulb stitch markers on my socks. So I knit my first needle when I start. I put a stitch marker at the beginning of round because I would definitely lose the beginning of round. And then after that, every 10 rounds, I will put a stitch marker in. Every 10 rounds all the way down. And I put 2. I put an extra one here to mark this is the top of the heel. And then so I can just count every single stitch marker afterwards to know how many more rounds I need to do for the foot. And then when I do the second sock, I just take it off and pass it over, so I never have to count more than in multiples of 10 and then up to 10 each time. So makes life a lot easier, especially with how forgetful I can be. Just have a sip of water. I haven't made a lot of progress on these ones, but I have made some. These are just black. Let me take the needle out. I'm onto the gusset decreases for this. I've only done, I think, half of a decrease. I've done the decrease on one needle, so you can't really see it very well either because they're so dark, but yeah. These are for my sister. They'll probably be for Christmas now because her birthday's quite soon, and also I can't really give them to her until on her birthday because I need to keep them so I can take my September photograph. So they'll be for Christmas. I've done these ones longer. Usually, if you've watched before, usually I do her socks at like 30 rounds for the leg, but I've done 50 this time, just for a bit of a change because she wanted a longer sock sometimes. And these are totally plain, so they're the sort of socks that she could wear at work and not be like made fun of by the kids. So this, I didn't say what yarn it is, did I? This is Yarn Smith's Merino sock, superwash, which is 100 grams, 400 meters, 75 merino wool, 25% nylon. That one. It's lucky with how much I hate weaving in the ends of these socks. If I didn't love how they turned out so much, I would just be having scraps building up and building up and building up. The magpies are in my garden. I call them Kim and Kelly. Kim is the male one. They're so cute. I love magpies. And crows and ravens. But we're not talking about that at the moment. Let's go back to the socks. So these are scrappy. The only thing I'm not keen on is the cuff. I don't like this one round orange. It just, it annoys me immensely. I'm hoping by the time I get to the second sock, we're not on this bit, but these are all Cascade Heritage scraps. I've made loads of socks this year in Cascade Heritage. All the cakes will be from this year, so all the cakes two of the cakes. So this one, and this one. These two, now that I've used the red mostly on both of them, look totally different, but when you have just the red showing, they kind of look the same. But now that they're not, I can tell which one's which. This is the second red I used. I'm really trying to remind myself so I don't mess up. So I can't remember what all the colours of this are, because some of them have been in my scraps for some time now. So I did 20 rounds, 64, let me tuck these in, so messy. I'm going to try and remember to weave in all the ends on this sock before I like crack on with the next one, because last time with my really scrappy socks it was very unpleasant having to do all of them in one go. So 20 rounds 2x2. Now I did 15 rounds of this colour, 5 rounds of this colour, then I did 15 rounds of this, these are the same colour, then I did another 15 rounds of this colour. This colour is a bit confusing because there's only 3, I think, of this bluey colour, which is actually this colour. Then I did I did the heel flap in another colour. Then I've gone back, that's all of them used, so I'm back to this colour here, where I did 15 rounds of the gusset decreases, and the few of these are the same, which actually I had to put a stitch marker in early because I was getting so confused with counting my rounds and how many I'd done of each of them. You can see a difference, but it's not a lot of a difference, and that's why I'm really out and back at this colour. So I should build a second sock by next week with these. So warm today. It's not as warm as it was yesterday, but it's warmer than I'd like it to be at this time of year. I'm hoping for pure autumn weather. That's what I want, just nice autumn days now. It was baking yesterday, it was 26 degrees here. Here this, I'm trying to do a slight pattern, but I just know I'm going to mess it up, but I'm going to give it a go. So, my own hand dyed, it's a non-repeatable colour. Let me see, how does it even look? I haven't even looked at how it's looking. Okay, so I did 64 stitches and I've done 20 rounds of a 2x2 rib. Now I'm following the 2x2 rib down the sock, the leg. I'm not going to do the foot of the sock. So it's still a 2x2 rib, but theoretically, I'm going, how many did I do? Did I do 3 or 5? I think it was 5. So I'm doing, so I did knit 2, purl 2 for the cuff. So the first round of 5 rounds, I'm doing purl 2, knit 2, so it moves the knit 2, purl 2 pattern over. Sorry, just a bit tangled. There's not really much enough knitting, I think, to properly see. So this then is purl 2, knit 2, and I'm back now to knit 2, purl 2. So it'll just switch back and forth, just to add like a texture to the sock. but we'll see how that goes. They'll probably be on my needles for ages because I sometimes just get this burning idea that, oh, you should knit something a bit more interesting than just a vanilla sock. And then I start doing the pattern and I don't enjoy it, and then it takes forever to get off my needles. But I do intend to crack on with them. Here we go. That wasn't even in my bag. So I've done the first sock. Done the first sock. Lovely pattern. Look at the way they've dyed this. This isn't mine, this is someone else's. This is Twin Knits. But look at that distribution. Isn't that beautiful? Slight pooling, which is to be expected. So you've got just pink really on this side and then just blue there on the gusset decreases. But that's to be expected with a speckled yarn. So I've done the cuff, I'm onto the leg. I've still got about 15 rounds to go. These are for me. Not much more to say about this at the minute. This is an 80/20 base and it is by Twin Knits. Again, I don't know the colour of the yarn because it doesn't say on there and I didn't purchase it myself, so I can't go and look through my orders and find it. So Twin Knits, I don't know how it will wash or anything yet because I haven't, this is the only yarn I've used of theirs, but so far there's no colour bleeding onto my fingers when I knit with it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to wearing those. I knit them a bit taller so I can wear them in my boots in the winter. And then just one more sock, which is another scrappy sock. So this one, I completely forgot about this sock. Weird. I like it. It's a bit much. This flash makes it look a bit much. It's actually a bit more, and it blends a bit more on this side. That's one thing I didn't really like 100% with this pickle and twist yarn, was the white pooling. It didn't do it on both socks. If I remember, I'll bring them down next time so you can see. It's a beautiful base though, it's so soft. I'm not going to go back through every single yarn I used in here. I'll do that towards the end because it's probably these aren't going to be finished next week, so you don't want to sit through every single week of each of the yarns. Should be on the second sock by next week, so that's all my socks. Put these away that I've been working on. Then the only other knitting I have been doing is, oh, sorry if I bashed you. The only other knitting I've been doing, so as you know, I finished the back of my cardigan. Like I said, it's not as long as I'd intended. I'd intended it to be quite a bit longer. No, not quite a bit longer, a little bit longer, just a little bit. I can always add some ribbon onto the bottom because this isn't even ribbon, it's broken rib, so it doesn't cinch in at all, so I could always put some ribbon on the bottom. I just need to make sure I line it up, I think, with the pattern, make sure I do it as knit 2, purl 2 in the way it's done here, but we'll see. So these were all my own hand tied from my A Court of Thorns and Roses club. I've got one missing. There should have been 12, but I must have not had any extras left from one of the months. It wasn't even the 12th month, it was number 10, I think. I think it was in between these two. I think I had Bat Boys Snowball Fight. Did those words even make sense? Bat Boys Snowball Fight. I feel like it's showing you the same thing. You've seen it. Move on. So, I'm onto the front panel. As you can see, I've done 3 colours. I'm onto the 4th. So I've been thinking, oh, that's why I was showing it, because... So I've been holding it up to try and give myself a rough idea. So I think I want to start the... it's going to be like a V. So I'm trying to work out where to start. Let me... Sorry, Dita's down there. I don't want to hit her with the chair. So I'm trying to work out where to start the decreases for the V. So I'm thinking the V should be around here, which would take me to the bottom of the cereal. But then I had... let me put this sort of, because it'll be up here a bit, won't it? So maybe even just, yeah, maybe the top of Autumn Court I'll start doing the decreases, I think. Oh gosh, that was so white then. The front panels are so much quicker than the back. I mean, this wasn't even that bad once I sat down to it. It's so snuggly. Oh, it's so bouncy. I really can't wait to be wearing that. So I'm doing that, like I said, with my own hand dyes, which is dropping things. Just my standard merino sock base, and I'm holding it with Drops Kid Silk, the lace weight one. So that's all the knitting I've been doing. I have been crocheting a lot because time is running out to get this stuff ready. So I've got to finish the crochet cardigan. I've got to crochet a whole jumper, and I've got to knit a jumper for my mum. By my sister by the end of like the 3rd week in September, and my mum just before the end of September. I've got to crack on. So I have finished the crochet of the cardigan, but I have not finished the weaving in, and I have not like washed it or anything. So let me just get this lined up. Oh, it's inside out, isn't it? Because I've been weaving in the ends. So I've started with the weaving in. I'll pop it on so you can see. It'll be the easiest thing. So, a big snuggly cardigan. I'll just leave my hair inside it because I don't want my hair to cover it all up. I'm really trying not to hit her with my chair. So, tuck my hair in a bit. That does look weird. So, this is the cardigan. It's a bit like, it will soften up when I wash it. It will be much softer. So this is, let me pull the hair around to the back. Maybe that'd be better. Okay. Yeah, that's better. So this is the cardigan. It's meant to be basically like so you can wrap it all the way around and just cozy up in it. So yeah, got lots of ends to weave in, but yeah, I've done the ribbon of the sleeves, and I've done this ribbon and the bottom hem ribbon. I did go back and forth on how much I should do of each of them, but I think this actually works out nicely. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So all the crochet is done with it. I like it. she picked all the colours herself. Did I just shout part of that? Apologies if I did. She picked all the colours herself and I decided in the order. They were all actually from Stash, all 100% acrylics. Oh, there's something on my screen. I thought something was on my forehead. Where did that come from? It's a really easy method. It's just self-drafted. All basically in one piece. You just chain for the sleeve and it's all flat, and then just seam up the arm and then down the side. That's the only seaming you have to do. So this is basically done. I just need to finish weaving in all the ends. And so now I've chained, because it's not casting on for crochet, you chain, but there's no like particular word for that. I've started, there we go, that will do. I've started another project. This is also for my sister, but this is, my mum purchased the yarn that my sister had picked out, and I'm crocheting her a jumper for my mum. So this is my own pattern. I don't think I have the title page with the picture, so it's just my autumn, it's just, I think, autumn sweater it's called. This is a Drops Merino, what is it, Drops Cotton Merino? Yeah, Drops Cotton Merino. And this is in the colour Rust, which is out of stock for ages. This was the one colour she really wanted. The other colour was black. And I did not, I would have done it in black if it didn't come back into stock in Rust. Because you can tell how much I like someone that I would even consider crocheting a whole garment in black. For myself I'd do it, but for other people I have to really like you. So never doubt my affection for you if I knit or crochet anything for you in black. This is 50% merino and 50% cotton, I think. Yeah, 50% wool, 50% cotton. It says wool on the band, but online it says merino. So. And technically, merino is just wool. Like it is. You know what I mean. So I have, so I don't have to keep checking the pattern all the whole time. I have, let me untangle that. This does happen quite a lot with this, which is very annoying. So I've done this much in a week. So basically, you just, in an afternoon. It's a seamed pattern, so you crochet it flat and you do the front panel, which is you crochet up to where you do the short V. So I've got these brown stitch markers. So once I've got to the end, I've counted out the number of rows. Once I get to the end of the brown stitch markers, I'm on to the decreases for the V. So then I use all the pink ones for one half, and then I've got these grey ones for the other side. So once all the stitch markers are done, the front is finished. So every time I've done, I just leave it on the last one, and then I just unclip the next one, and then clip it up and up and up and up. I think this is going to be a lovely colour on her though. I do like it. The pattern is quite roomy, so for the medium size, which is what I'm making, each panel width across is 25 inches, so that makes a 50-inch bust circumference, and I am like a 46 to 48 inch bust, so this only has 2 inches of, can you stop? So this only has 2 inches of positive ease on me, so you can pick the size you'd make with that in mind if you want it to be, and because of depending on what yarn you use, like the sample I made it in was drop spell, which does not have a lot of give in it, but the cotton merino has a lot of bounce, so you could really work with what size, you could really work out the size you want based on that. I kind of forgot what I was saying. There's a lot of room in the sizes, is what I'm saying, to find the size that will work for you. And it's quite easily adjustable, so there's that as well. So it's worked in I dropped it on the floor and tried to pick it up with my toes. That's not working because I'm wearing socks. Hold on. Oh, nearly bashed my head on the table. Do you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Because every time I almost bash my head on something when I'm bending down, I think of that episode. I think it's in the first season. It's like the first few episodes where Terry is talking to Captain Holt and describing the team, and with Boyle, when he's talking about him, he's bending down to get something, like he drops his muffin, I think, or something, and he bends down to get it and he bashes his head on the side, and it's the whole situation. Every time I bash my head on things, I always think, oh, no, it turns out you're not any of the cool ones, you're Boyle. Anyway, 5.5mm hook so it's a very open weave, which again, if to make it that pattern more to the way you prefer it, you can also just adjust the hook size quite considerably, because it's a 5.5mm hook with a DK yarn, so you can always go down to I actually want to experiment going down, doing the large size with a small hook and see how that turns out, because I think it would also create such a different fabric, it'd feel really different. So, I do say so a lot. I'm going to have some water. That is everything I have been working on. I'm just going to move these bags down here so I can get to the other things. It is technically a small yarn haul, but most of the yarn will be out of my stash by the end of the month. So let me show you. I love it. This is the majority of it, and that will hopefully be gone. If I get on with things, it'll be out of my stash. So, like 10 days ago, I sent my mum, I sent her the links to a few of the Drops DK wool yarns and wool blends, so she could pick out some colours that she likes. And she picked out several colours, so I've got some ideas for her Christmas jumper. But she picked several colours, and this is one of the colours she picked. So I'll go through the bag as it comes out. So I got some Drops Fable in Unicolor. This is Drops Fable Unicolor is what I mean. And this is colour 110, which I can't remember what it is. Is it something like Spice? No idea, I can't remember. I got two. These are just for contrasts, really, for heels and toes. And then I got these two. Again, really for heels. They could be used for something else. Like, to be fair, it's 100 grams, so I could knit like a hat or something. But the idea was a contrast heel or toe or cuff. You get the idea. This is colour 123. It's lovely neutral. Oh, it would make it lovely. I do this all the time, but it would make a lovely jumper if I with like a pair of black jeans and like a black top. You can make a lovely cardigan with that, couldn't you? I got black. I'm not sure why. Must be a reason. It's a bit odd choice otherwise, isn't it? Got some Drops Fable in the black. This is colour 400. Oh yeah, these ones. Drops Fable as well. It's such a lovely colour, this one. This is 111. It's like mustard. I'm just saying names that I think they look like. It really could, it's entirely possible that that's not what it's called. I got a pink, which is 102. And oh yeah, I think that's it for those ones. Yeah, then I got this self-patterning one, which is 904. It does have a name. Is that wrong though? I feel like it might be called Lavender Haze. It is purple, so maybe not. Maybe not. And then, like I said last week, I got 4 more of these, but I don't remember why I picked 4. Because I'm not going to need 4. I've only just cracked into my 3rd one out of the 4th, and I'm already like, I've got loads left for that half. Like, I think I'll probably get through the whole half of that panel and into the second front panel with that 3rd one, which will leave me yeah, I think I could have probably done with like 2 would have definitely got me through it. I got 4. How many meters do you get in this again? Yeah, you get 210 meters in 25 grams, so although I think this is a slightly different shade to the previous colours, you know, dial-ups and all that. Oh, oops, easy. Yeah, yeah, there is a difference. It's not. No, yeah, look, see, this one's much pinker. This is like, I don't know if you can see on camera, but this one is definitely got a pinker, and this one's definitely more grey. Yeah. It doesn't matter because they're marlin anyway with highly variegated yarns, so no one's ever going to notice. So I got 4 of these, which is the Drops, I didn't say what it is, did I? The Drops Kid Silk in the colour Chalk, which is 38, which is also a lesson, boys and girls. Try and get everything you need in one go, because if I was holding this like together with itself, I would have stripes of this in my garment. There'd be a notable colour difference in these dye lots. So yeah, try and buy everything you're going to need to avoid that problem. Will I remember my own advice? Absolutely not. You will see numerous occasions where I will not be remembering. So I got 4 of those. 2 extra ones for some inexplicable reason. Although I could make some cute fluffy house socks, couldn't I? They'd be really fun. Hold this with like some of my colours. I do actually want to add to my shop some like mohair, like fluff. I've got some ideas of some other colours they would look really good with. Anyway, back on with what I'm doing. So I'm keep going on side quests mentally. I'm really trying hard to focus. But it doesn't really work. So Drops Fiesta, which is the Drops DK sock yarn. It's lovely. Drops Fiesta. This colour, I am 99% sure, is called Dark Ivy, and it is colour 13. It is just, yeah, that's pretty true to colour. It's just a dark green. It's a dark green, but it's on the yellowy side of green. But it's so dark, because normally yellowy green isn't really my vibe. I'm more of a cool toned green, but because it's so dark, I don't mind. So I got 15, I think, of these. This is soft. This is wearing close to skin soft. Like, she'll be wearing it in the cold weather, so I think it'll be absolutely fine. And she can always wear a long sleeve top under it. The Fiesta is definitely soft enough to wear next to skin. I have my own jumpers I need to make with mine, but I've got to get birthday presents done first. So this, I'm going to do a jumper. I looked and looked and looked for a pattern I want to do, and I haven't been able to find anything quite right. So I'm going to self-draft a pattern, and it's going to be similar to, it's going to be a broken rib, 2x2 broken rib, kind of like this cardigan. But my mum likes a V-neck, so it'll be a V, not a deep V, but probably about to like here, I think would be good, just above, maybe just there. So I'm intending, I say intending because I have a bad habit of forgetting what I'm meant to be doing. So I intend to record like the, I don't know, the self-drafted like design diary, where I'll take you through my thought process and from start to finish designing and knitting the item for, and I'll show you all the mistakes I'll make and where I'll rip it out, and I might even record a bit of like day in the life things to intersperse throughout the video, so it'll be more like a, maybe like a September knitting vlog with a like design diary in there. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Might not work out like that, don't hold your breath, but that's what I intend to try. Yeah, I do love that colour. I think it's going to look really good on my mum. So that's everything I bought. I'm just going to actually pop these all back into the bag, or I'll knock them on the floor and lose some of them, because the cat does like try and grab some of my yarn sometimes, and she runs off with it. Does your cat, if you have a cat, does your cat steal things? My cat is obsessed. I have to be so careful because I'm always scared she's going to swallow them. She loves like hair bands, your hair elastics. She doesn't have like just a plain elastic like band. And what she does, she doesn't pick them up in her mouth. She runs up to them and she like scoops it with her paw and holds it like against her body and then runs off on 3 legs. She could just pick it up with her mouth, but you know, that's not what she does. I've got a spare knitting needle to sit in here. I have to go back through my knitting projects, aren't I? Find out where that came from. So that's all of that. Well, I showed this on my podcast last week. This is the Falling Leaves on the Silk Merino nylon base, and said I was going to knit a hat, and then my mum watched and said that she would like that hat, so I suppose I'll be making her a hat. Would it look nice? So I ain't joking, I'm happy to make it for her. So I'll show you quickly, quite quickly because we're getting to an hour, some of the yarns that are in my sale. So I've shown you already Antique, and then you've also got Driftwood, which is this lovely aqua, and then you've got a mauve and brown variegated. I have 3 of those, and I have 3 cucumber water, just shades of green. So that's all. That there are a few that are on in the shop on sale, and these now are some restocks and a new colour coming to the shop. So I'll show you the restocks first. I did have 2 of these to restock, but I sold 1 yesterday, so I only have 1 now of pumpkin spice. This is pumpkin spice. It is a very vibrant orange. I did get a review only the 1 time, but the bad reviews always stick with you. I don't know if any of you guys are the same, but if someone says something bad about something, I remember that so much more than any of the good things. So I was once told they were unhappy because it was not as vibrant as they thought, but I think it's pretty vibrant. I think to get more vibrant it would have to be a neon, but this is pumpkin spice, which is oranges and yellows and brown. I have 1 of those on this sock. I have 3, dropping things, hold on. I have 3 on the sparkle sock. Let me show you. Oh, they look pretty. Yeah, these look good. I haven't knit a sample of pumpkin spice in a long time, and I'm thinking a sparkle pair might be nice. No, this new sparkle base, you can actually see the sparkle on camera. Look at it. Like this is 100% a sparkle. The sparkle, if you, for instance, were going to knit to a DK and you held 2 strands, but you didn't want it to be completely sparkle. This is the same meterage as my standard merino sock, which is 400 meters per 100 grams. So I have 3 sparkle that have been restocked. I apologise for bumping you. And then the other restock, because I haven't got that many restocks this week because I've still got a few to do. I've been dialing up pre-orders to get them out, well, because I always like to get them out as quickly as possible. On my listings it will always say, I think 1 to 5 weeks, but I do as much as it is possible get everything dyed up as soon as possible and get it out. So this is a restock of Messy, which is, I love this yarn. It's one of those ones that there's so many colours that go on it, and it's like drop-in speckles all over the yarn, so you cannot get them to look identical, and to me that is part of the beauty of this colour. Like if you're going to knit a whole garment in it, you're going to want to do skein management. You're going to want to stop notable differences between skeins. You're going to want to switch out between rounds. I love this colour. This is just, sometimes I think to myself, because speckles are a lot of work. Like I have to layer on a colour, put the lid on and just wait, but I can't do anything while I'm waiting because I've got dye on my hands are wet, I can't go off and do other things, so I just have to put the lid on the pan and just wait for that colour to set before I can move on and put the next one on. And there are, what, like 8 colours, so it does take a while, and I think sometimes when I'm in the middle of dyeing I think, oh, is it worth it? But then it comes out and I see it and I think, oh no, I do love it. I didn't actually get to knit a sample previously, in Messy because they all sold out so quickly, which I get because look at it. It's just purples and pink and green and blue and gold. Just beautiful. Look. I just love it. I do. I love it. So I do want to try and do a sample. I don't think it's possible to have this look like this and do it on a sparkle, because you see, sparkle with my normal sock, with my normal yarn, I will use citric acid as the mordant because it doesn't have any smell to it, and it's very easy to apply it, because with this, for every layer of speckles I put on, I put another layer of citric acid over it, so the speckles will hit and you'll get these pops where it's like set. That's how you get these, that's how I get some of these colours where they're really, like the dark blue is very hard to set. I've not, until I figured out how to do this, I couldn't get some of these, like the plum colour, I couldn't get them to hit and cause like a solid looking speckle. It was always just a bit like just blend out, and by the time they'd all blended out, you couldn't really see the speckles as well. So I have to layer citric acid every single time I put the colour on, but you can't use citric acid. All of this is to say you can't use citric acid with a sparkle because it dulls the sparkle. It makes it just, it doesn't sparkle anymore. So you have to use vinegar, but vinegar just sort of blends too much into the water, so I don't think even if I put like vinegar on each layer that it would work. I think it would just be like, you'd have the colours but it wouldn't be speckled. I might try with one skein, maybe I'd have to soak the yarn initially in like a solution of maybe 50% vinegar, 50% water or something, so you really get that vinegar into the yarn. I'll have a think and a bit of a play around, but they would probably only be coming on the non-sparkle basis, but this is Messy. Blab, blab, blab. Let's see. Have a bit of water because I've chatted so much. My throat's dry. So, a new colour. I really like it. I had an idea in my head of what I wanted, and it's better than I'd pictured. So, this is pumpkin picking. It's inspired by the feeling and of like going around a pumpkin farm and picking out your own pumpkins. Like you're wearing like maybe a purple hat or coat, got the greenery around you. So let me take just one of them to show. So this is the base of it's dyed as a tonal orange, and it is a very tonal orange. Let me undo it so you can see. So the base is a very tonal orange where you'll get much lighter. So this is quite dark orange, and then this bit here is much paler. And you have speckles of purple and green, and you've got speckles of orange, and there's some brown in there. There's speckles all over. It's so pretty, look at it. Oh, I love it. I really do love it. I also am intending to knit a nice pair of socks in this. This will make me very happy. So this will be in the shop Tuesday. So when you're watching this will be in the shop. It is only available at the moment on the 75-25 4-ply. There are 4 of them. Oh, they're just so pretty, look. I've got some other colours coming, but I'm just going to show one at a time because I'll be here forever, and I'm not adding them to the shop until later. So I've got some other colours I'm thinking. So there's apple picking, and there's apple picking and toasty toes are 2 new colours that are dyed and will be coming to the shop. I'll show them next week. And I'm also had an idea this morning. I don't know, is it too much picking? But I feel like this is like picking season where everyone's going around picking things. That's a weird bit. That was a weird way to say it, but so I'm going to do blackberry picking, which will be this, like apple picking's this style, but it's in red, with reds. So blackberry picking will be, I think, like a light purple base, and then we'll have purples and blues and browns, maybe some green. I haven't quite settled yet on it. For the people who aren't as much of an orange kind of who aren't so much for orange in autumn, that's what I'm trying to say. Well, I think that is everything. Oh, I'll just do a quick. I'm just listening to the same audiobook as I was last week. I haven't listened to very much of it because I've been reading some fan fiction again. I've been reading Secrets and Masks, which I'll leave a link to down below. I am enjoying it. It is Hermione fan fiction, so that's Draco and Hermione. It's like an alternate universe where after the Battle of Hogwarts, spoiler, Voldemort's not dead, and it goes from, I'll leave the link down below. And we've been still mainly watching Below Deck. We're on the final season, and we've finished all that is aired at the moment, but I think there are 3 or 4 episodes left, which there should be another one on now to watch this evening. And we've also started watching Gogglebox from season 13. We weren't sure where we got to last time. If you're not sure what Gogglebox is, because it is a kind of, it's an odd idea for a TV show, and it's an odd choice. So basically Gogglebox is people in England and Wales. I don't know if it's like the whole of the UK or just England and Wales, but the people seem to be just from England and Wales, who film themselves watching TV, and then you watch them reacting to the TV basically, and it's just enjoyable. I didn't watch Gogglebox for quite a while because while we watched, me and my sisters, while we were caring for our dad when he was dying, that's what we would watch in the evenings. We'd watch Gogglebox just to feel like, I don't know, connected to like things outside. So after that, we couldn't watch it for quite a long time, but it's nice to watch it again. There's something comforting about it. Yeah, so that's really it. Like I said, there should hopefully be another video coming, like a kind of I don't know, I haven't even thought of a name properly, but something along the lines of like the self-drafted diaries, maybe, which will be taking you through the process of drafting this pattern and making it for my mum, hopefully, sometime. And I'll put some like day in the life things in there as well. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, it would mean a lot if you'd click like, and subscribe, maybe, unless you already are, then you don't need to subscribe because you already have. So I will see you all next week. Bye.